everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. I am currently in the process of hopefully obtaining a Disney Vacation Club contract through the resale market. If you want to know about my Disney Vacation Club journey so far, I have 2 videos going over that I will link to in the description below. But while I wait with bated breath to see if Disney executes its right of first refusal or not on that resale contract that I am pending for, I thought it would be interesting to go over some aspects of the resale contract that I signed. For as much research as I've done about DVC, I've actually found very little information about the legal documentation that goes along with it. I'm hoping to add some much needed transparency to this entire process for you all, so stay tuned to this video if you are interested in details of the contract I signed through the resale market. Before we get started, if you are just starting out on your Disney Vacation Club journey, I highly suggest you check out my DVC playlist, which I will link to in the description below as well as in the card right here. In these videos, I go over a lot of need-to-know information around the jargon for Disney Vacation Club, like home resort, use here, and things that you should consider, like, is Disney Vacation Club even right for you? How many points should you buy? Stuff like that. I also want to say a huge thanks to all of my subscribers and all of the viewers who have followed along my Disney Vacation Club journey so far. You all have been an incredible brain trust for me, and I'm so glad to be part of this wonderful community. The resale contract my partner and I put an offer on was listed on the DVC Resale market. I will link to their website in the description below. So in this video, we will be going over details of the contract I received from the DVC Resale market. Naturally, if you work with a different resale company, the terms in their contracts may differ. But hopefully this gives you a general overview of what you can expect. First, the contract included a specified date by which all legal documents should be fully executed and all of the funds would also be due. For me, this date was October 27th, 2020, which was 11 weeks after the contract was delivered to me, and I also happened to sign and return it on that same day. I don't know if this 11-week timing is standard, how that time frame was chosen, and if other resale companies use similar or very different time frames. The same line does indicate, though, that this deadline can be extended automatically by 30 days, specifically if the estoppel certificate is delivered to the title company less than 30 days before this specified date of October 27th. Estoppel is a real estate term and certainly jargon to me, so I'm not going to pretend to fully understand it, but my understanding is that the estoppel certificate confirms the terms of agreement. So I, as the buyer, am under the assumption that the terms provided by the seller are accurate. Disney, as the primary landlord of sorts, will go ahead and review the membership and look for any outstanding debts and make sure that the number of points and other terms of the contract are as stated. This estoppel process is separate from right of first refusal and does take additional time. Generally, after Disney decides not to execute the right of first refusal, the investigation and production of the estoppel certificate can take up to another 30 days or so. To bring things full circle, if Disney does not deliver that estoppel certificate to the title company that the resale company is working with, then that October 27th deadline automatically gets extended by 30 days. So there's an extra 30 days for all of the documents to be fully executed, as well as an extra 30 days for me to transfer all of the funds over. Due to the wiggle room in the contract then, the date is not set. However, the inclusion of the date is really nice, and I was kind of surprised to see it. Ultimately, inclusion of this date gives me a rough idea when the contract might close and therefore when it might be mine. The second important detail is that the contract noted who paid what fees. Unless otherwise negotiated and stated in the contract, I as the buyer pay all of the closing cost fees. And then if I am financing my purchase, there are additional fees associated with financing. The seller pays a right of first refusal fee of $20, an estoppel fee of $150, and then all of the commission to the resale company. At the time this contract was executed, the commission for DVC Resale market was 8.5%, and the literal dollar amount of that 8.5% of the total sale was specified in the contract. Third, the contract noted that if I, as the buyer, failed to make any payments on time, that the seller could negate the contract penalty-free. If this happened, I would then forfeit my deposit. On the flip side, if the seller defaults on the contract at all, then I get all of my money back, including the deposit. And for my specific contract, the deposit listed was at least 10%, but no more than $2,000. We ended up paying just the 10%. Fourth, importantly, there was a line in the contract that specified who paid 2020 dues. This contract was stripped, so because the seller had used all of the 2020 points, it was specified that they had to pay all of the 2020 dues. If they normally paid their dues monthly, it was also specified that all dues had to be paid upon closing of the contract. Fifth, there was a line in the contract to indicate the current points as well as any banked points. If the reality of the points differs from what's specified on this line, then the seller pays the buyer $20 per point, or the buyer can also terminate the contract. Sixth, I found it fairly interesting that the buyer has the right to terminate the contract without penalty or obligation within the first 10 days of signing the contract. I believe this same right to rescind exists if you buy directly through Disney as well. My assumption is that there must be something specified in Florida real estate law that requires this, otherwise it's hard to imagine that both Disney as well as resale companies would abide by this. It certainly favors the buyers. 7th, the contract also had a section indicating the terms of Disney Vacation Club resale and restrictions. For example, as of March 2011, newly obtained resale points cannot be used for reservations for concierge or the Disney collection such as Disney Cruise Line, Adventure by Disney, and similar. Since April of 2016, new resale owners do not have access to discounts at shopping and dining, member-exclusive events, and others. The contract actually specifically states, do not purchase your interest in reliance on access to or the ability to transfer these Disney Vacation Club incidental benefits. Last, effective January of 2019, only members who purchase directly from Disney can access all Disney Vacation Club resorts, including the newly built ones. Those going through resale will be restricted to staying at the 14 original Disney Vacation Club resorts, so everything before Riviera. Anything Riviera and newer, you cannot use your resale points at. Next, both my partner and I decided to put our names on the paperwork. We have not purchased real estate before, so maybe this is old hat to some of you, but it was new for us. We had to specify how we were going to take the title. There were 4 options. First was tenants by the entirety intended for married couples. Second was joint tenants with rights of survivorship. Third was tenants in common, and 4th was other. We are not legally married, so we did not select the first option. It really came down to joint tenants with rights of survivorship versus tenants in common. My understanding of tenants in common is basically that means each person with their name on that contract has their own undivided rights to the property, and they can actually transfer those rights to someone else. So if we were to select that, and for example, I died, I could have written in my will that I wanted my portion of this DVC contract to go to XYZ person, and that could be anybody, it wouldn't have to be my partner. We are buying Disney Vacation Club with a combination of both of our money though, so we went with option B instead, joint tenants with rights of survivorship. So if I were to pass away, my portion of the Disney Vacation Club contract would automatically go to my partner. This wasn't a controversial decision for us by any means, but I just wasn't necessarily expecting to see this since I've never gone through a real estate transaction before. The last thing to note is really through this entire process of the resale market, if you were intending on financing, there were so many places where you had to specify the name of the lender. So if you were seriously considering buying a resale contract soon, but financing it, you will want to get your financing worked out well in advance of putting an offer on a contract so you are able to specify this throughout all of the paperwork. I am a detail-oriented person, so I always read the fine print of contracts, but I found this to be pretty interesting actually. I hope this has helped uncover some of the process for you. If you did find this helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell icon for notifications whenever I post new videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, but you find yourself coming back to my channel to watch my content, I really wish you would subscribe. It's free for you and super helpful for me in terms of the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much to all my returning viewers and subscribers. The growth of the channel in the last 2 or so months is really impressive, and a lot of that is thanks to you. If you want to chat about Disney Vacation Club or anything else Disney, leave a comment down below, or you can find me over on Twitter and Instagram at PixieDustPhD. Does anything about these contract specifics surprise you? And if you have any questions about the contract I received, as well as how the resale process is going for me in general, definitely leave a comment down below. Like I said, I am trying to make this as transparent as possible and provide information for all of you out there. I hope the rest of your day is absolutely magical, and we will see you next time at PixieDustPhD.